This program was first broadcast on Canterbury's access media station, Plains FM, and was made with the assistance of New Zealand On Air.
When you're working, the school holidays can be a guilt-ridden juggle of no fun. Today's podcast is all about planning the holidays so they're much more enjoyable. Let's work and enjoy the school holidays together.
Thanks for joining us for Being Real Parents with me, Anna, and my colleague and buddy,
Melissa from Monday Creative.
We work in the parenting space, and it's here where we'll talk about our worlds as parents, the good, the not so good, and the hilarious, and mix this with what we know about behaviour and psychology.
Hello there.
Hello. We've got Kate.
Yeah,
Hi,
Kate's back in the
guys.
studio.
Yeah, cool. Good to be back here.
How are your holidays going? We're mid-January. We're halfway through. Well, just past mid-January, aren't we?
Yes, I am ready to go back to work, hence this podcast topic. But yeah, it's been nice having a break.
Yeah, always nice to have a break, hey, but definitely feeling quite ready to get back to work as well.
Yeah.
How are the kids feeling? Are they enjoying the holidays?
A bit scratchy over it, but kind of like, you know, the Christmas loot is done, the chocolate's eaten, gone.
There's always that build-up, hey? It's so much around Christmas from as soon as Halloween's finished, 31st of October, November the 1st, everything kicks in, and it's like 2 months of intense Christmas. And then,
Stop. Stop.
Oh, it is. It's almost like you have Christmas fatigue. And then the kids do get through the prezzies and all the chocolate and all the heightened excitement. And I find that second half of January always rolls into a bit of boredom, a bit of scratchiness. How do we manage this?
Yeah, trying to find a routine, hey.
Yeah. And like you say, trying to, as parents and adults, trying to get back into quote-unquote normal life of work-life balance, parenting balance. And then yet the kids still want to sort of party a little bit.
Yeah.
There's no routine for them. It's late nights and early starts.
Yeah, and it's still hot and light.
Yeah. It's a hard one. It's really hard.
Yeah. Maybe we should just all move to the Northern Hemisphere. Let's sort that out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love winter for, is those sort of dark early nights.
Yeah.
Just it sets the tone right. It's time to shut down everything
Yeah.
and snuggle on down. But at 10:30 on a Wednesday night in summer, it's tough. Come on, guys, get inside. Yeah.
No!
Yeah. And for me, when we've talked about this, I need my sleep, and I can't go to sleep until the kids are asleep. So it's those late nights, and then, as you say, trying to get back into work and trying to find a routine, I'm pretty exhausted. I sort of almost really look forward to them going back to school.
Yeah.
But must enjoy the holidays, I suppose, eh?
Yeah, that's right. And remember, we've got ourselves some New Year's resolution-y, goal-y intention things in the mix. So we want to keep those alive as well as we move into this next phase.
At least through January, right?
I think when we talked about that, you got to give yourself a month before we decide that 2/3 of the population give up on them, and we're only halfway through Jan.
February, we're all like, that was too hard.
I'm only 2 weeks in. I'd like to think that I'm still going okay. I'll report back in February.
Yeah.
But it's good, as you say, to remind ourselves of the intention to achieve something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I should get out for a few more runs, I suppose. But it's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. There is that. Yeah, and I suppose the thing is too is that we did that thing about setting an intention, for our holiday time, and now it feels like we're moving through that, but we can still continue to, set those intentions and have that be available to us. Yeah.
And not be so hard on ourselves if we don't get it right every day. And then tomorrow we can keep going, because we've still got till the end of February to make it a habit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't have to find the lunch boxes and the school uniforms just yet.
Yeah.
Hurrah.
That is actually the one blessing of school holidays, no lunch boxes. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I know, giving that up is just a joy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is good. It is good. All right, well, we'll rock into how we balance getting back into work life. Hey.
Can't wait.
You're listening to Being Real Parents with Melissa and Anna on Plains FM 96.9.
So we wanted to support ourselves, selfishly, and you out there, if you are a working working parent and, juggling these school holidays, and what tips can help with that. What we got?
Well, we always look back at the website, the Looking After You Too section, and that's probably key for us to, think about when we're in this stage of the kids are needing us and work's needing us, and we're trying to do it all. But I think it's important to go back to making sure that you're still looking after yourself too, and that involves maybe making sure you're planning out the days and you're making sure that you're getting your time for yourself as well, and just minimising the stress around that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm, as you know me to be, I am a bit of a super planner until I'm not, consistent up to a point. And, I just find it just makes my life so much easier. And I'm kind of like desperate to do a bit of planning at the moment.
Mm. Yeah, being realistic with that too, though, hey? What can I actually do to plan? What am I going to set in my plan and then not do anyway and then feel guilty about it? So, what can
avoid that?
Realistically plan into my day?
Yeah.
It's good to set the expectation. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to set yourself up for failure or set yourself the goal of, I actually realise I can't go back to work full-time at the moment. So I set the expectation to the people I work for or work with that I am going to be super flexible with this and know that, so that you're not hard on yourself when you don't get everything done, that you don't feel guilty, but know that some days you'll get it right and some days you won't, and be prepared, as you say, to be flexible around it. So for me, I know that I'll let all the clients know that I'm still sort of on school holidays and the kids will be around, and so I'll have to be flexible with meetings and probably more Zoom meetings, and then let the kids know that I've got that too, and then make sure that they're set up with activities, or we plan when to do outings and things like that.
Yeah, so you just go into flexi time. Me too. I go into a kind of, I have to go back kind of, full time, but I just sort of work my day so that, I get up early, as you know, and then I might set up a morning thing for the kids so that they can do that while I get a little bit of work done, and then something to look forward to in the afternoon, some sort of game or something or other, and then I might go back to work once they're semi in bed. Yeah, that's how I kind of have to do it. But just,
I guess that depends on your work, hey, and who you work for.
Yeah, aren't we lucky?
Where you're working.
Yeah.
So maybe a chat with your employer if you're finding that really tricky, of how you can manage that, because that would be difficult if you didn't have that flexibility, hey?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but if there's any opportunities to work from home, that always helps, I find.
Yeah.
Or, if there's, if there is the availability of time off during this time, that's, only going to help.
And knowing and booking into school programs if you have to. As Kate said, that you need to be planning in advance, perhaps, if you have to go back to work full-time in the office, because that's what your job requires, to know that you're going to book them into a program, get yourself organised to have all the lunches sorted, do your Sunday planning. It's a lot to work through, isn't it? It's a lot to juggle. But I suppose sometimes it's moving into as if it was a school day, really. And if the kids go off to a program from 9 till 3.
Yeah. I know, and I mean, there's guilt that comes with that too. But as I go back to, we can still have intentions around that time. We can still decide that summer does allow for us to be outside a bit more in the evening times, and so maybe and so that we plan in some fun as well. Keep our energy higher. Yeah,
Real Parents offers the planning calendar, the holiday adventure calendar. Is that right, Kate?
Yeah, there's a template, which is a great way of planning what the week's going to look like in the holidays for sure. Yeah.
Because I think it's important to remember too that the kids are on holiday and they do want to have fun, and I'm trying to juggle work, but I still want to have fun with the kids. So that'd be good to plan out and actually sit down with them, do you think?
Yeah, and finding snippets. Like, is it that you have, on a sunny evening, your dinner as a picnic out on the grass?
Yeah,
or
nice.
How can you find those snippets of fun within what might not feel so much that way? Yeah.
So they can have good memories of the summer holidays too. And it's little and often, isn't it? Just grabbing those moments, but planning those moments, but making them seem spontaneous a little bit, eating outside on the lawn at fish and chips.
Yeah, or having the tent out on the lawn and they can sleep out there for nights and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think a good way of doing it is you say you plan your day for work, and then say in the evening that's when you do your fun stuff. That's if you're working, or if you're like me, I'm able to be flexible because I work from home and schedule a couple hours in the morning for work, and the kids are doing activities outside, and then we do something fun in the middle of the day.
So maybe it's brainstorming with them what are some fun activities we could do in the evening, and you might not even set them to a day. It might be that you wait and see, what the evening's like. It might be that it's a little bit chillier and that you've got a movie planned or something inside.
Yeah.
But having like a list of different ideas and then, choosing one at the time even.
Yeah, we've done in the past, we have a whiteboard of ideas, because you're right, the weather can come into play, so you can't necessarily say on Wednesday we're going to the beach, and then so off that board we've got a heap of ideas, and some are free and some are paid, like as in could be the cinema, or it could be going to mini golf. And then we look at the board and we cross them off as we do them. And then we, depending on what the day's doing and what it's looking like, at least the children have something to look forward to. There's something they can do that day from the list that we've created together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I also do tag teaming, so, calling in friends and whānau and say, I'll take your kids on Tuesday if you take mine on Thursday, so they still get a bit of kind of, family time or, cuzzy time or friend time as well. That works quite well.
Yeah, it is good. And I don't have any family in Christchurch, so I've never really had that. But exactly, with your friends, organise that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Don't forget, we've got heaps of ideas on our website under Adventures. So there's lots of kind of free ideas as well as what we call splashing out ideas too, that you can add to your list or to that template, which we'll post up on social. Speaking of social, look at me plugging away. You'll be pleased with me, Melissa. Kate does a cool post every Thursday. It comes out Thursday morning time, which is called All in One Place, and tells us about what's on at that time that's family friendly. So that's a goodie too.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a mixture within that, of paid activities or, free family things around the city and even a bit further, Canterbury. So good place to check out some ideas for sure.
Yeah, that's a goodie.
And going back to the website again, it is set up so that there's a mixture of, it's called cheap as chips, splashing out,
and wallet free.
So it suits all budgets, and maybe it's about sitting around the computer and having a look at those with the kids and sorting them out and figuring out what you want to do. And they're also organised by age group, aren't they too?
Yeah, there's preschool, primary, and then the high schoolers as well.
And so if you've got a mixture of kids, you can plug in those filters and it can spit out a perfect activity that could be cheap as chips that caters for a teenager and a toddler.
Yeah, because it's the teens that can be tricky too, eh? Yeah. We get a lot of feedback on our website about how they've got parents have got, families have got a teenager and then other ages, and if they kind of accommodate that teenager, then it actually works for everybody, and they've been really surprised by that.
Yeah, it is hard always to find that mix and that dynamic for everyone to be happy with what you're doing, but it is definitely possible.
Yeah, and like you said, Melissa, having that conversation, actually having a brainstorm together so that we're there, like you've got some buy-in on that too, which is cool, eh?
Absolutely. I think that's the critical part, I think. When you're sort of trying to slot everything in and meet sort of the demands that you have to do your work, but also want to make still fun family holidays, the kids need to be on board and go, oh, yeah, actually I want to do that. Yeah. And actually other kids might not want to do it as much, but then that's the value of learning to compromise, isn't it? And just teaching them those skills as well. Well, today you might do this. It might not be your favourite thing to do, but tomorrow we'll do,
Your favourite thing to do.
Yeah, well, it is hard. I've got 4 kids and all have, they're very similar in their interests, but they definitely want to do different things, and some more than others, and we just have to all muck in because that's just the way it's going to be. We can't split ourselves 6 ways. So that's why the website's great for that. Sitting down and planning it's great for that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
The website was the answer to my own problem, basically, because I had kids in all of those age brackets, and accommodating that. So basically, the website solves that problem for me.
Moving back into planning, I know we talk about it a lot, don't we? But for me, if a good plan, and it just sets the tone for the week. If I'm flying on by the seat of my pants, it usually does tend to be a little bit chaotic. So, we're mid-Jan and we're moving back. If we've got 2 weeks of holidays, I'm going to, set into doing the Sunday planning again and schedule out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How are you going to manage it for the next couple of weeks?
It's that same thing. It's that using that template in order to plan it out. And then what I find is that with my little list, she'll go to that. It'll be like, today, we're going to have, a picnic outside for tea, or, and so she's got that to look forward to, and she knows that that's going to happen. And it just makes things run a bit smoother. Well, a whole lot smoother. But then there's also those times where you just have to ditch the plan too. Yeah.
Have that flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and be okay with that, hey? Like, be kind to yourself that, okay, that's not how it's going to roll today, and that's all right.
Yeah. Plan B, which is a fresh sheet of paper, or just, snuggling on the couch because you're just all too tired.
And it can get really overwhelming and stressful. What happens then? What if it's just all too much and you have to be at work and you have to, keep on top of everything, and it's really hard? What do you suggest, Kate?
Yeah, I guess I, kind of harp on about this a lot, but once again, just acknowledging that and talking to your kids about it. Look, Mum's feeling quite stressed out. I've got quite a bit on my plate. How could we make this work? Like, get your kids to support you with that too, like, and name it and acknowledge that that's what's kind of going on for you.
And it's okay to reach out for help too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that might be, contacting us. It might also just be your informal supports too, checking in with a friend or whatever.
It's a time that we can actually be quite creative with the way that we parent in this space while we have to, when we've got these kind of demands of us. So we can, we have to work, but then we also want to kind of keep the holidays alive for ourselves and for our kids and enjoy summer too.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of exciting that we get, at this time we're actually fulfilling all of our life. We're working people and we're parents, and there's things that we enjoy, and we can bring all of that together. Yeah.
And that comes back to, you said at the beginning, the intention we set for these holidays or for these remaining weeks. And for me, a good intention is I just want to have fun. I just want to make sure, I've only, we've got so many summers left before the kids are off. You've got this is your last summer with your daughter before she goes to, not forever, but before she's away at university. So there's sort of ages and phases and stages, and it's the next chapter. So
that's right.
What it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Being in the moment and enjoying enjoying having that time together too. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I love what you said, Kate, earlier at the beginning, just planning out those little snippets in time.
Yeah, and realising they don't need to be huge chunks. I think if we put that time pressure on ourselves of, okay, I need to spend the next 3 hours with my child doing something, that can feel really overwhelming, but look at it as snippets and little chunks of time. It doesn't need to be giant, huge activities.
Yeah, that's true. I always think about my days as a morning, afternoon, evening, and sort of like if I can, and it doesn't have to fill the morning or fill the afternoon. It can be, something that we do in the morning, but it might just be a little activity, and usually that can set them up as well. Yeah, to feel okay about getting on with something while I just finish off those emails or whatever I need to be doing.
And I like what you've said in the past. We've talked about it often with the CLANG, an acronym. And the big thing for me and my take out of that is the little and often.
Yeah. So for those who haven't heard that before, CLANG is about the 5 ways to wellbeing. C being connecting, L being learning, A being active, N taking notice, and G giving. Yeah, and if we do those things a little and often in our day, they support us to feel good and function well, which is actually the definition of well-being. Yeah,
it's definitely a good focus for me at this point in time. Little and often with the kids, make it fun. That makes everyone feel good, and then I can, carry on.
Yeah, I feel optimistic that I can manage this.
Totally can.
I so got this. And if I haven't, I've got Kate.
No pressure on Kate.
So our 3 top tips for this week. 1, set your intention. Know what you want to achieve for the final couple of weeks of the holidays. And number 2, plan. We've got plenty of resources on the Real Parents website. We've got the calendar, we've got the adventures, and we recommend sitting down with the kids and just talking about what you want to do. Set some goals around that. But if it's not working, number 3, it's okay. Call a mate, call a friend. Reach out, see if you can do a swap of kids for the day. Take some time to just enjoy the holidays.
Or call Kate.
She's all over it. And for anything we've referred to today, as I said earlier, there are plenty of resources on the Real Parents website, which is realparents.org. And it's also where you'll find our template for adventures and all the information about wellbeing and looking after yourself. And for anything else we've discussed today, you can always listen back on previous episodes. You can find them on the Plains FM website, or you can head over to Spotify or iTunes and you can download the episodes. Just use the search term Being Real Parents. And thanks for coming in today, Kate.
Thanks for having me again.
Super. Thanks for joining us today.
We hope you've learned that while parenting is challenging sometimes, that's totally normal. It's been fun having you with us. Keep being amazing. Bye.